Hi, I'm Bob Murray, and welcome to Delaware Valley Outdoors. One of the hottest things in fishing nowadays is striper and smallmouth bass fishing with a fly rod. I'm here at Mainstream Outfitters, and they're going to teach me and show me how I can become a better fly fisherman for stripers and bass. Hey, stay tuned. It's going to be a good one.
Delaware Valley Outdoors, your best source for fishing information on TV, radio, and the internet.
Hi, I'm Bob Murray, and welcome to Delaware Valley Outdoors. You know, one of the hottest things going on today, especially in our area, the Delaware River, is smallmouth bass fishing and striper fishing with a fly rod. I'm here at Mainstream Outfitters to find out about this idea of fly fishing. You got to check out this place. It's just amazing. It's got a lot of stuff in it. I'm going to talk to Diane, the owner, and she's going to give me some information. Come on, let's go. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Bob.
How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Diane, great store. You got all kinds of stuff in here, like a kid in a
Thank
candy
you.
shop. That's really a great
Thank
store.
you.
Diane, let's talk a little bit about the store. It's a full-line Orvis store. What does that mean?
Full-line dealer. We carry their full-line fly fishing equipment, from rods, reels, lines, leaders, down to the waders, down to the technical clothing that they may wear, and
regular.
casual clothing.
And you have just all the other little tools of the trade and stuff like that.
Accessories. Mm-hmm.
The other thing that you do have here are your classes, am I correct?
Yes, we have classes. We offer instructional classes for fly tying and fly casting. We also do a little bit of guiding through the store, and we have events that come in. We have different speakers to come in and fly tyers to come in to demonstrate.
And you also, this is on a website too, right?
Yes, yes.
So we have a website, we can find out all that information about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Diane, really, you know what I'm here for. Fly fishing, stripers, smallmouth bass, Delaware River, it's coming on strong.
Yes.
It really is. And we know about trout fishing already, but what we have here is a really great thing on the Delaware River for the smallmouth and the stripers. And I know you have someone who is going to help me get through this mess. Am I correct?
Yes, yes. We have Bob. Bob?
Hi, Bob. Oh, good. All right, Bob, you know what's going to happen here. I'm a novice at this thing. You got to take me through from rods, reels, lines. Can you do it?
We sure can. Well, we step back in the back and take a look at some rods.
All right, let's go.
Here's some of our rods, Bob. We'll set you up with. This is our trout, our low-end trout models, up into a bass type model, which we're going to set up for you. We get into our mid-range rods. The tensile strength is a little better on these rods.
Okay, now mid-range, that mid-range in price, is that the case?
Mid-range price, mid-range in the rod, the type of guides they use, the type of graphite material they use, the cork. The reel seats are a little better as you go up through the price ranges. These will also have into the trout, into your bass, all the way up to our striper type rods, which we'll be setting up.
Okay, and then we have up here.
Then we have the top end rods, top of the line, trout rods, all the way up to big blue water rods.
So these will take the saltwater fish.
Saltwater, the big stripers, bluefish, even up to sailfish. And
wow. Okay, Bob, now I'm going to go for smallmouth bass. You picked out a rod for me. Let's talk about the rod you picked for me.
Okay, smallmouth, I picked out a 9-foot 8-weight. It's got it's Orvis Clearwater Classic, length 9 foot, weight 4 3/8, and an 8-weight line.
Okay, so when you come into the store, this basically gives you what you're looking for right here on the rod. I mean, obviously you have a lot of people that would help us out, but if I'm looking for this certain rod, that I know that everything's right on there for me.
Right on the butt of the rod.
So I know that if I want an 8-weight rod, that's the line I'm going to be using with it, right?
Yep.
Okay. Put a reel to me now. What do I need on this thing?
Okay, I've picked out a large arbor, bat and kill large arbor number 3. And large arbor is a larger line pickup. So when you have that long cast out, you can pick that line up quicker with a reel.
Now the materials, nowadays the materials that we've used, or even in bass fishing, because I do a lot of that, the bass fishing is aluminum. Is this, what is this?
This is aluminum. It's fully machined out of a block of aluminum, T63.
And the drag system, is that waterproof?
This drag, waterproof. Most of them do have a sealed drag in them. You can see the drags inside there.
Fits that rod? And
That would match up with that rod.
And that would be enough for smallmouth bass fishing.
Smallmouth bass fishing.
Okay. I'm going striper fishing. They're big dogs. What do we got for that?
We're going to need a bigger outfit. Going to go up here. We're going to go with the TOS 10 weight. And you can see that on this one, length 9 foot, 10 weight line.
Okay. The other one was 9.5 foot. This is
General
striper.
all-round rods for fishing bass, striper fishing, they're all 9 foot.
Is this going to hold, you know, I can catch a 20-pound striper out there, even bigger.
This will hold up to a 50-pound striper.
Hold it a 50-pound striper.
50-pound striper.
Okay, so I got the backbone for it. Is
We
that
got the
case?
backbone. It's got the heavier backbone. It's a stiffer rod for casting the bigger flies.
Okay, and now you're going to match a reel with me.
We're going to put you on a reel. What we have here is the new Mach 5. It's a large arbor, again, like the other reel. It'll hold 200 yards of backing, so if you get that big fish on and he runs, you got the backing to slow him down.
And again, the construction is...
Again, the aluminum cut out of one solid block of aluminum. It's got a disc brake set up in it, fully waterproof.
Talk just a little bit about the disc brake thing. Now that's your hand, you used to slow it down. What's the disc brake do?
This disc brake, it actually compresses on a Brulon material. It's a new material out. And as you tighten up the knob, it's going to tighten up on the disc brake and give you
That's smooth then. So
real smooth.
very smooth. Okay, so that's going to be my striper. Can I use that in light salt water, or can I use that in salt water?
can
Say
use
if I'm
this
going
in-
down the shore, I'm going off the
Same
beach.
combo, you could take down the beach and use it down the beach.
All right, good. All right, I got the rod, I got the reel. I got to have some line, right?
We'll go back into the back and we'll find some line
All right,
for
let's
you.
get some line for him. That's a pretty reel, man. That is nice. Light too, really light.
The danger dog will bite your ankle. The danger dog will bite your ear. The danger dog will bite your bottom if you come near. That's the danger dog. Dog.
Want to feel appreciated? When you spend time with kids, anytime, it helps prevent crime.
This is the hand that sows the seed, that grows the forest, that drinks from the stream, that hugs the mountain, that gives shape to the wind, that carries the kite, that is flown by the child, that is loved by the woman, that toils at the job, that gives to Earthshare, that supports the hand, that sows the seed.
All life is woven together. How can we choose which environmental cause to support? Earthshare, the workplace giving program, makes it simple by bringing the leading environmental groups together under one umbrella. Support Earthshare, and you support them all, including the hands that sow the seeds and protect the forests and the streams and the children. To learn more, please visit our website.
Mommy, what's wrong?
You can refuse to be a victim, and we can help. Call now about the I Refuse to Be a Victim safety course from the women of the NRA. It's not about guns or joining the NRA. It's about planning your own personal safety strategy. Call now.
I have my rod, I have my beautiful reel with a great big arbor. For that, I need line, right? All right, I'm going to be smallmouth fishing first. What line would I put on that?
We should go with a weight forward 8 floating bass.
Okay, 8 weight forward. Give me a little bit of information. 8 weight forward.
Weight forward is the belly of the line is towards the front of it for longer cast. The 8 is your line weight, matches up with the rod, matches up with the reel. And the F stands for floating. It's going to be a floating line. It's going to be on the surface mostly.
Okay, so that's what we really want for
That's what we want for bass. We're going to throw in a lot of poppers.
And basically a lot of that stuff is on top of the water anyway. Okay, I have that. Now I need
a leader for
a leader. Okay, and what leader would you suggest?
7.5 2X would be good. It's a shorter leader. We could also go with a 9-foot 3X.
Okay, 9-foot 3X. All right, now give me a little bit, Bob. There's a lot of numbers you just talked to me about.
Okay.
Talk about
the first number on any packet you look at is how many feet, how long your leader is.
Okay, so in this case, this is
7.5 foot.
Okay, and the 2X means?
The 2X is your tippet size. In this case, it would be 11-pound tippet.
Okay, it's 11-pound tippet. And in this one?
That's a 9-foot length. The 3X, it's a 8.5-pound tippet.
Okay, so I would probably go with a lighter tippet if I'm going
for smallmouth. I would go with a lighter tippet.
Okay. All right, now I'm going for the stripers. You recommended 2 different kinds of line for the stripers. First type?
Weight forward, 10 floating.
Okay, what's that mean?
Weight forward line again. Weight up forward on the line you'd be able to roll over to bigger flies. The 10 weight is what we use for match up with the rod. And the floating for surface poppers, any kind of surface lure you're going to throw on the fly rod for the stripers.
Okay. Now, you brought up an interesting point that we also need some sinking line.
Sinking line.
Why do we need that?
We want to get down in the rocks. The stripers, those big hogs are down in the bottom. And we're going to be throwing some Clouser minnows, some herring-type flies, deceivers, and getting down deep where the stripers are. And this is a 300 grain depth charge. 300 grain is the weight of the line, the first 30 feet. And the depth charge just means and sinking's going to get down. It's going to get that fly down deep and quick.
Okay, so we want to do this if we're going to throw something into the rocks or getting down, at least
getting down into the holes where the stripers are laying, we're going to need to use this line.
Okay, and for the tippet on this and the leader, what do we need there?
We would go with a striper leader. Again, 9 foot in length. This one's 20-pound tippet.
Okay, now they don't have 2Xs. How come they don't have 2Xs?
Once you get above a certain poundage and you get up into the big game, they just use the poundage rating.
Okay, so a 9 foot, 9 feet leader and a 20-pound tippet.
20-pound tippet.
Which should do it. Yeah.
Should hold those big ones.
All right. You just talked about the Clouser minnows and that kind of stuff. I need those, okay? I got to have some. You're an expert fly tyer, okay? And you said you're going to tie some and show me what I need.
We have a table set up with some tying, and we can take you over and show you how, and we'll tie
Okay,
some
let's
flies.
do that, because tie me some flies and show me, because there's a whole bunch of stuff I've got to see there, because I know you picked out some of the ones that you would recommend for the Delaware River.
For Delaware River.
All right, Bob, basic casting technique for a stripe. We're talking about stripers right now. What kind of rod do you have here? Give us a little background on the rod right now.
This is a 9-foot 9 weight. I've got a floating weight forward line on for surface fishing.
Okay, so the weight forward means it's going to stay on the surface?
It'll stay on the surface.
Surface longer. Okay. Average guy just starting out, how far do I have to cast? Far? Can I cast short? What's the story with that?
You're going to have to be able to cast at least 40 feet to get into the stripers.
And now we're having a fairly big fly. For demonstration purposes, we can't have a fly out here because we'd get caught in the grass, but we have a fairly big fly, so you're really going to have to really drive it. Is this a good rod to drive that with?
This is a good, yeah, it's a mid-flex, heavy rod, so it's going to push that heavy fly.
Okay, why don't you show us how we're going to get some line out.
Going to do the double haul, and the double haul involves in building line speed. And you're just going to build that line speed up, and you'll be able to throw that longer cast.
Okay, now a double haul, you're pulling it twice, is that the
You're
case?
pulling it twice. You're pulling, as you come on your back cast, you pull down. On your forward cast, you're pulling down and releasing it. So you're coming back, up, back and forward, and that's your double haul.
And the size fly we're talking is a fairly big fly.
4 to 6 inch fly.
So you got to really get that thing
You've
back.
got to really come back hard and fast, and then pull forward, and it'll launch the line.
Okay, now let's just switch gears. I know we're talking stripers here, but now on a smallmouth, we're talking smallmouth fishing. Would I double haul or not double haul?
If you have to get out to the fish, if you have to reach to them, anytime you want to make any kind of distance, you got to haul it.
Okay.
Anytime you want to get out, say 40,
now,
50 feet.
It's going to be a different rod. I still can drive it that far?
You can still drive it.
That's the whole thing. I know we'll get talking about it a little later on, but the line is really the thing that's really moving this thing. Am I correct?
The line and the rod combination. The rod's putting the power into that line to make that cast.
And so an average guy starting out, how long do you think it'd take him to to cast that, be able to cast that line like that?
In about an hour you can learn to cast.
Now, you said an average person. Myself, what, 3 to 5 days?
3 to 5 weeks.
It's not as hard as I'm making it out to be. Bob obviously is an expert, but I think you have the idea. You have to match the line with the rod and everything, and then you'll be able to do it. Bob, that's a great tip. I think we're going to get on the water here, and it's going to look nice then.
Hear the beep a little louder.
The JATES program has helped me so much in the outdoors. For a long time, I didn't even know what conservation even was. I want to do my part for wildlife. I love being a JATE. Whether you hunt or not, the JATES program has something for everyone. I know I'm doing my part for wildlife. I really believe children hold the key to the future of wildlife. And NWTF believes it too.
Each year, thousands are senselessly killed by people with no criminal record at all. People like you.
Properly inflating my tires burns less fuel and saves me money on gas. Yeah, I'm saving Mother Nature from pollution, but more importantly, she saved me $11. Ow!
Environmental defense. Get green.
By keeping my car regularly tuned, I save money on gas and repairs. That also means cleaner air. You know, feels good to help save the cash, planet.
Environmental defense. Get green. For more tips, go to getgreen.com.
You know, we sing for millions of girls, but helping out in schools, that's the real deal, baby.
I know our love can multiply.
I'm the cute one, you know what I'm saying? Have you ever been backstage before?
'Cause you're the excel.
I think you'll find that gravity is key in what I do.
Once was one, but now we're two.
I'm spinning out of
Oh.
Bob, we're here at the tackle box section of the show, and we try to highlight some of the stuff that we would use when we were on the water, or we did use when we were on the water. The shop is just jam-packed. We could never get it in the time allotted. But what we have here, you have, what do we have?
Pair of glasses for in the water, polarized glasses.
Need these, right?
Need these.
I know a lot of guys spot trout all the time with that. Our bass fishermen, we're still looking at it, right?
You can spot bass with it, you can spot stripers with it. It's also eye protection.
Right, and that is true.
You need eye protection.
And you got a ton of different kind of glasses here at the shop. Okay, we talked about it, but let's...
Fly tying, this is an Orvis fly tying manual. If you get into fly tying, you can buy this manual and follow the instructions and start tying flies.
You also just have a ton of just
magazines, tying magazines, fly fishing magazines.
Well, this is important. I know when we talk about bass fishing and stuff like that, is read as much as possible.
Read as much as possible. You read, you learn.
That's right. All right, now I got my books, I got my manual. I guess I need a
fly tying kit.
Okay, and what is in here?
This is a saltwater fly tying kit. Comes with the vise, all the tools, and the materials you need to sit down with start tying clouts or minnows if you want.
There we go. Okay. Now this is neat. I wouldn't recommend this. I am a professional, so I want you to see this. What is this, Bob?
This is a folding wading staff.
Okay.
When you're wading in the river, you need that extra support with the currents.
And you hook this on your belt?
It goes on the belt loop. There's a little loop to hold the staff so you don't lose the staff.
Okay, but what's the cool part about it is you open it up.
Take it out. It'll open right up for you.
And?
Locks in.
Locks in, and nice point to hold yourself. Good, nice grip here. And then this hooks up so you
That hooks up to you so you don't lose it. You can leave it dragging the current.
I recommend this highly. There's another thing we're going to recommend too. In the river, summertime, those rocks are slippery. They don't call them river rocks for nothing. And they're slippery. You have to have one for safety. Okay, Bob, speaking of safety, what do we have here?
This is the wading shoe, felt bottom with studs. Wading the river, you do need studs. I won't recommend anything but studs on the river.
You can get going out in that current. Current doesn't look that fast. We get all fooled about that when you're out there wading. It's still moving pretty
it's fast,
quick.
And it's got a lot of pressure to it.
These studs will just...
They'll help bite into the stones. They'll cut through that slime and grip into the stone itself.
And the felt, the same thing,
The felt does the same thing. It's going to grip. It's going to give you that extra traction.
Okay, wading stick and these boots.
Wading shoes.
Okay, one of the other things, this is a great idea. Tell us about this, Bob.
Well, instead of having a big old tackle box like on a boat, you've got all your flies. You carry it in this, it's a hip pouch. Comes with 2 water bottles, so you can hydrate. And it also has a removable chest pouch, which you can wear on your chest.
Okay, and again, it just...
All your tackle, your lunch, your raincoat, and all your boxes of flies, and you're set to go for the day.
And you're set there. Bob, I want to thank you again. Come over to the store, look at all this stuff, and that's the tackle box. All right, Bob, I got my rod, I got my reel, I got the line, I got the tippet, I got everything. Now I need something to catch those darn fish with. Obviously we have some...
We have a selection of flies out here.
Okay, let's go with some of this first.
We're going to start off with some smallmouth flies. These are our surface flies. Then we're going to go to our subsurface flies for smallmouth.
Bob, what's some of the names? Just give me a couple of names.
So we have a deer hair frog, Dalberg diver, a hard body poppers, club sandwich, which is a grasshopper imitation. We have the woolly buggers.
All right, woolly bugger, that's the name that everybody hears pretty much. Now, you said subsurface. What do you talk about that? What's that mean?
We're talking about subsurface. We're going to be down, we're going to use these as a leech imitation, a crayfish imitation. We're going to get down to the bottom, down along where the bass are sitting, where they're waiting for something to be washed by them.
Okay, color. When I'm doing seminars, everybody asks me, what's your favorite color? You're a fisherman, you open your mouth, you're going to tell a lie anyway. I understand that. What's your favorite color in the popper, and what's your favorite color in the subsurface?
Color in the popper, for smallmouth, I would go towards a yellow popper. In the subsurface, the olive woolly bugger can't be beat.
Right. And that goes back to bass fishing, where we like that pumpkin seed, that olive color.
That olive color, yep.
Okay. Over here now, we have our saltwater selection. What do we have here?
We have the Clouser minnow. It was invented by Bob Clouser in Middletown, PA. He's a big smallmouth fisherman, also likes the salt, and he came up with this as a minnow imitation.
And this is fish, everybody knows the Clouser
worldwide,
minnow. Yeah.
Worldwide, the Clouser is known.
Yeah. And then what do we have here?
We're getting into our 2 herring type patterns for on the Delaware, our eel pattern, and then a surface popper.
Okay. Now you said you were going to tie one for me. Which one are you going to tie?
We're going to tie a Clouser.
Okay, let's go. Now what do we have right here for you?
We have a saltwater hook that we use, size 1/0. We have a set of lead eyes, which I've already tied on, and we're just going to add 3 other materials on. We're going to add the underneath, and we're going to make this fly about 4 inches. We're going to start right behind the eye, and we're going to do a pinch method. And I'm just going to wrap to the back of the fly.
Now, Bob, is it true that you are a commercial fly tyer? That you do this as like a real thing?
I do this all the time. I tie the custom flies here for the shop.
How hard is it to do this, Bob?
Not very hard at all. Could start you off with a kit and a class, and by the end of the night you can learn to tie flies.
I have it on good knowledge that one of the people that work for Delaware Valley Outdoors actually took a class and tied his flies. Is that the case?
Yes.
Not me, as a matter of fact, because it's not working. All right, what do we have here, Bob?
This is a flash material, Flashaboo. Just gives that fly some flash. We're going to use it as a midline on the fly. Most minnow patterns, if you look at minnows, they have three distinctive lines to them. The belly line, then they have what they call the midline, and then they have the top. So we're just going to tie this in real quick. We've added our tinsel. I'm just going to trim it off. Put a couple wraps just to hold it down. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to take a little bit of chartreuse. Chartreuse is one of the best colors you can use.
Now what is that? What material is that?
This is
like a yarn of some sort? Or?
This is like fish hair, ultra hair. It's a nylon fiber. And what it does is it's translucent, which means it doesn't really, you don't need a lot. It's just going to give the idea of a minnow fleeting through the water.
To just give it a little coloration.
Just a little bit of coloration to the fly.
Now, talking about, I know you're doing these two things at one time, but fishing a clouser minnow, how would I fish it?
Generally, you want to cast a clouser slightly upstream. You want to get it down, and that's what the lead eyes come in handy to help keep it down. You're going to take the clouser, you're going to throw it upstream, let it sink down near the bottom, and you're going to give it 1 foot strips. And you're going to be stripping it in, and you're going to give it that darting action. So the bass see it, and it looks like a bait fish fleeing.
And then as you stop that thing, it starts to
flutter down.
And then hold on. Is that the case?
Hold on. Okay, we're just going to do a finishing knot. This is a whip finish tool. It's just made for doing a finish on the fly.
And now you talked about whip finishing and all this stuff. You guys, everybody could take a class here.
You take a class, we'll teach you how to use a whip finisher, how to use your threads, your bobbins, all of your tools. And we've got our clouser to use on the river.
There you go. Clouser minnow, smallmouth bass fishing. This could be it. Bob, I want to thank you and Diane and everybody here at the shop. It was great. I learned a whole lot tonight. I hope I'll remember by tomorrow.
When you get out.
But anyway, hey, look, if you want more information, come over to the shop, go to their website. Bob's here working during the day. I know everybody's real friendly. They'll take the time to set you up, straighten you out. You take classes, you can learn to fly tie. They're probably even going to teach me how to do it this time, I'm sure. I don't know. What do you think?
We'll try.
It's not pretty. Hey, anyway, don't forget to go to our website, DelawareValleyOutdoors.com. For more information, we can link you over to this. If you have any questions about fishing, fishing reports, hey, give me an email and tell me how you did with this guy, all right? Hey, I'm Bob Murray. I'll see you on the water.